Good evening, parents. Special day, special day. Our teachers are back, and we're preparing to reopen and welcome all your children back on Monday. Monday, the 23rd, is our big day. We're coming up. I like to think of it as a grand reopening. We'd order balloons and everything that we can think of to let your children know that we've missed them and that we welcome them back. I think that you're aware because our buses are on the street that the high school is open. We opened 98% of the students who are enrolled are here, and gives me such a wonderful feeling. But the little ones just have a special place in my heart, so I really cannot wait. I spoke to the teachers this morning and welcomed them back, and we did awards and all of those kinds of things. What I see in the teachers' faces is a resolve, but also a happiness because they understand what are we without the children? We're just empty buildings. And so it's our time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in to register. About 302 of you have not thus far, but the district office is open. You can call for an appointment. We'll be happy to help you, but we really want perfect attendance on Monday if we can get it. We really want to do that. But I know in your mind you're thinking, what is going to happen? We know that in our world there's a problem, and we know what it's called. And it's called COVID. We've been living with this for a year and a half now. And I thank the governor in his wisdom and saying very simply, all schools will return to in-person education. I really thank him. Our teachers did everything that they could in implementing remote education, but we all know that there are gaps, particularly in math and science. And some of our programs, I'll just be quite honest, I think we were unable to teach band and chorus and foreign language on Zoom. We just couldn't do it. But I worry about the students that never indicated that they didn't understand. There was not two-way communication as there normally would be between the teacher and the child. And so for that reason and many others, it's time to come back to school. But when we open, what can you expect? First of all, coming into our buildings, everyone takes their temperature. And we do that because we know that that's an indication that you might have a fever or inflammation. We're not doctors, but we follow the science, and we know that that's one of the things that we definitely should do. On our buses and our buildings, everyone is masked. Now, I will say this. Certainly I watch television. I have not had one call from anyone saying, why are we masked? We're masked very simply, and we've been masked for a year. You know that we first went to remote education, and then in January to the hybrid, and after that to summer school, and it was a magnificent program. We did all that mask. There were programs during the summer, camps, band camp, choral camp, dance camp. We did all of that mask. I look at the space above the mask, the joy in the eyes of our children, the fact that they believe that maybe things are not as they were, but it's our new normal. And so I'm not getting a message from the community at all. Our board has been absolutely supportive since March. We will wear masks. Everyone that's in contact with a child will wear a mask. You can't come in our building without a mask. But November 1st, we will stop, we will analyze, and we will make a recommendation to go forward. What I think is going to happen, and this is just my thought, I am not a medical doctor, I think that in 2021, we need to be very careful. The way that we're careful and eliminate colds, flu, and COVID is by the use of masks, and that's what I predict is going to happen. But November 1st, we will take a look at this, and we will communicate back with you. The second thing that we're doing is emphasizing vaccinations, and some of our buildings are as much as 90% vaccinated. As a district, as a whole, we're 85% vaccinated, the adults. You know very frankly that the age limit is 12 years of age, and so 80% of the students coming back to school are not vaccinated. There's nothing that we can do about that. When we contacted the Illinois Department of Public Health, what they're saying is that they anticipate that the federal government will approve a new vaccination, a new possibly weaker, I don't know, or maybe a different combination of chemicals for younger children in January. But it's not January now. And so, all right, we're going to make sure that we take temperatures. Your children are surrounded by adults who are vaccinated. On August 24th, here at the district office, Dr. Richard Watson will be here again. If you desire to get a vaccination for your child that is 12 or older, or if you desire just yourself or anyone that you know in the community, we're happy to give a vaccination. But now we have those two layers. We have the mask, we have the vaccination. So the question would be, what else are we doing? In all 8 of our buildings, in May of this year, we had a new ventilation system put in. We're screening out pollutants that are in the air before they come into the building. Not just COVID, because we don't know what if COVID is in the air, but there are a lot of things that disturb us. And what we've seen is that everyone is a lot more comfortable, because we know sometimes your sinuses, you have an allergy, there's something in the air that irritates you. So you now have 8 buildings where the ventilation system has been overhauled, and that gives me a sense of comfort. It really does. The other thing that is in the classrooms, every classroom has chairs that are socially distanced. Each principal can send you a picture of that if you would like to see it. You know the guidance now is 3 feet apart. We could not open if it was 6 feet. There's no school that can open and maintain 6 feet. So we were happy at this modification. But once again, we stay masked even though we're 3 feet. We stay masked even though we're 3 feet. And in every classroom, if the teacher would like it, there is plexiglass. As the teachers become more comfortable, some are deciding to always stay behind us, some are not. That's an individual decision. I'm extremely happy that, I don't want to say hysteria, but the feeling that we had a year ago that somehow something was happening to us that was not in our control, I don't feel that now. I feel that all of the teachers in the schools, certainly the administrators that I see every day, are happy that the children are coming back to school. And so we're looking at coming back to our new normal. We are prepared to hire additional teachers to keep our class sizes low. At this point, we're averaging 18 to 22. If it gets any larger than that, we will hire new teachers. All of the schools have what we call a cadre teacher, in other words, additional teachers to help to do small group work. And so I feel that everything that can be done has been done. I have a sense of comfort in terms of the preparedness, number one, us mentally, because you know that COVID has affected some people mentally, but 2, the acceptance of the mask by the teachers, by you, the community, by our students, and the fact that we've looked at the ventilation. But the other thing that we've done, I don't know how the janitors feel about it, but because they have to clean, sanitize, we've added 2 hours a day. We call it COVID overtime. And so there's a greater presence, making sure that we wipe down everything. But a big change. You know how lunchrooms look in schools. Lunchrooms are fairly crowded places. They really are. But in all of our schools now, there is the main lunchroom, and then there's one, and in some cases, two other rooms that we're using to serve lunch. The reason that we're doing that, children unmask. Children unmask. When they unmask, we want them facing all the same direction. We want them 3 feet apart. We want to be very careful. And so that's why we are using, I guess you would say, an auxiliary lunchroom, but that is the case in all buildings because we want to be extremely careful. What does physical education look like? Well, we're not dressing for gym right now. We are going outside when weather permitting. We're getting fresh air. Children can unmask if they choose to. We're playing games that are perhaps not as, I don't know, physically taxing as perhaps we were doing before. And certainly we're not playing games that involves touching. And so that's what we're teaching our children, that number one, it's good to exercise, it's good to get fresh air, but touching is a whole nother thing. So we're trying to use our position as teachers to demonstrate. And with some of the younger children, you see I have my hands stretched out. That's what we're saying. Okay, all right, this is where you should be. That's the other person. That's you. So that's what teachers do. We are role models, and we teach by examples. And it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Technology, the technology teacher will come to the classroom. Why? We thank our board. Everyone has a Chromebook. There are no more laptops. There are no iPads delivered to the buildings in anticipation of you coming on the first day of school. Are Chromebooks that have been loaded already with the textbook, the books that the district has purchased. I think Chromebooks are the next level of sophistication. And so because we received a last-minute notification when the governor closed, we thought 2 or 3 weeks. It turned out to be 18 months. We distributed what we have. Now we are a Chromebook district, and we purchased 2,400 new Chromebooks this past summer. We also purchased sturdy cases that they're going to be housed in, and we think that we're not going to have a lot of breakage that we had before. What if you want to read about this? This is an example of our plan. Our plan is online. If you want the entire plan, then you can download it, or you can simply ask your school if you can stop by and pick it up. But it does cover everything that you would want to know: arrival in the morning, attendance procedures. Another thing that I'm not sure that you're aware of if you're new to us, everyone else is aware, there's a registered nurse in all of our 8 buildings. I think that not because of COVID. You know that many of our children have allergies. We now have children in our buildings that have very severe cases of diabetes. Some of them are on insulin. We needed to have a registered nurse there who could communicate with you in a different way, communicate with your doctors or whomever about the care of the child. But a registered nurse is on duty every day in the building. So you might ask, are there issues? There is an issue. The issue is the buses. If I had a frowny face, not a smiley face, if I had a frowny face, then I would put my frowny face there, and that would express how I feel about transportation. Kickert, that is our bus company, 25 years we've been with Kickert. They notified us earlier this week that they are down 11 drivers for 162. How many buses do we have in whole? We have 52 buses on the street every day, 52 buses, because we're not taking field trips. We're just going to school, 52 buses. So they're down 11. So what does that mean? Well, we thought this through, and what we decided to do, was to contact another bus company. And so if you're at the Huth, you're going to see on the side of your bus that it says Positive Connections. Positive Connections is the name of the bus company that's going to pick your child up in the morning. So is that going to be a huge change? I know that's something you're thinking about, time changes. We just need 10 additional minutes in the morning at the Huth. We're not talking about every place else. 10 additional minutes. And we will drop the students 10 minutes earlier at the Huth. The staff is there, and they will be waiting for the children. We couldn't just wait to see if they're going to be able to hire these people, because remember, you cannot just hire someone and make them a bus driver. There's a 4 to 6 week training period. They must pass an exam. They must have certification from the state in order to drive a bus. So I really don't have a lot of faith in this last minute hiring. But something else that we did, and this applies to everyone, no matter what school, all schools. There'll be a teacher or parapro on every bus, a teacher or parapro on every bus. And you may be thinking, why? Unless I can tell you that I have total confidence in the stability of the bus company as we come up, then I have to put someone on the bus that you can communicate with, someone that is watching out for the children, someone that is going to make sure that if your child is going to daycare, the child is at daycare, a teacher. So in the mornings, both Kickard and Positive Connections will go to the schools, pick up the teachers that are going to ride the bus, and then proceed with their route. If I were you, I would get to know my teacher on the bus, because the bus company is telling us that they will have stabilized by September 17th. I don't know that. So what we're prepared to do is to leave teachers on the bus in the morning and in the afternoon on the same route forevermore if we have to. And I just exaggerated with that. It could be Christmas, it could be January, but I'm not sure about this September 17th. But what I do know, that when you send your children to school, we have to know exactly where they are. We have to be protective. You have to work without worrying about it. And so that adult on the bus, that teacher on the bus, and with the radio, with the telephone, with GPS, we know where every bus is. We can see them on our computer. They're moving. But a teacher that knows your individual child is the security that we need, that I need, in order to open. So there is one time change, and you'll receive that. What I'm going to ask is that transportation send out reminders to everyone as soon as I finish with this taping, so that you can be reminded of your stop and reminded of your pickup time. But know that the stability and the fact that we are a district where 97% of our children are bused, that's very, very important. And I think the only way that we make absolutely sure that everyone is safe and gets off at the right stop is to have teachers on each bus. The teachers are aware of this. We're organized and we'll be prepared for Monday. So get to know the teacher on the bus, but know also that we know we're tracking buses on GPS. We always had that possibility, that capability. But our teacher has a telephone. We can pick up the phone and say, where are you? Okay, fine. That is going to give us the kind of security that we need. So we're opening on Monday. We're fully staffed. Teachers are excited about the students coming back to school. It's a different atmosphere than last year, when I think there was a lot of fear in our world. We have to send our children back to school. We know that there's some things that we could not teach on Zoom, but we're going to reopen carefully. We're going to take temperatures. We're going to stay masked as we have been. We're looking at everything within our environment to make sure that we can do whatever we can do. Now, you know very well, no one understands why COVID. We don't know where this came from, but we know it's a reality. And if it's a reality, then that's something that we have to face. And so on August 24th, If you can and if you will, please come to the district office. But on this video is going to be a link to sign up to take a shot. But if you have to walk in with your child or alone, we still want you to have the protection, because as a community, we have to look at this comprehensively. The safer we are as a group, the safer our children will be. So I look forward to being with you and seeing you as we journey throughout this year. But please know, every day I am extremely pleased and honored to have the opportunity to give leadership. Thank you, and stay safe.